Hi everyone, it's Alex and welcome back to my ballet body workout series. Today's class is going to be my advanced ballet warm-up. So these are exercises that I would typically do before taking a ballet class, but you can do this before maybe doing any type of intense workout just to warm up your body. It helps with your mobility, your flexibility, and your strength. So this is just something I do every day before my class just to get me nice and warmed up, feeling ready and feeling good to take my classes. But again, this doesn't have to be necessarily for ballet classes. It can just be for any type of intense workout or maybe before a run. So if you're ready, you need no equipment, just a mat and a little bit of floor space, and we'll get started. If you are unable to join me for this workout right now, go ahead and save it to your watch later. That way you can come back and join me whenever you have time. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started in a downward dog. Now remember, this is my advanced ballet warm-up, so this is for people who are a little bit more advanced and can handle a bit more of a flexibility challenge. So I'm going to start off kind of quick already. So we're going to start in a downward dog. Go ahead and get there however you'd like. And I always like to warm up the back of my legs before any type of class and my hips. So what we're going to do is we're just going to alternate kicking our legs all the way up and down and then switching. So you're just kicking your legs up. There's no special kick technique here, but make sure you are drilling your hands into the mat and you are actually squeezing at the top and then lowering down. This is again just to warm up the legs, the hips, and a little bit of the glutes. This just kind of wakes my whole body up also before my class. If I'm feeling tired or groggy before class, I love to do this. It just really wakes up my body and gets me energized. Good, just a couple more times here. Don't forget to breathe. Just kicking your legs up and down. Doesn't have to be super high either, but again, I like to stretch out my legs quite a bit before my classes, so I typically try to yank my legs up there. Good, let's do 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Hopefully that makes your body all warm. We're going to come into an all fours position. Just make your way down. Make sure your hands are right underneath your shoulders, your knees are right underneath your hips. Let's start with our left leg. You're going to extend your left leg nice and long behind you. And we're just going to draw big circles with the legs. So this is working towards more your mobility. It's going to really open up your hip flexors. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw it up and out to the side, up and back to the center. Good. Just keep it going here, trying to really draw big circles. This is also kind of getting more into the glutes. If your shoulders or your hands are feeling tired, you are more than welcome to come down onto your right elbow and just really thinking about opening up that leg. Again, I'm trying to focus more on the hip flexor rather than making this a glute exercise, but you are going to feel this a little bit in the glutes, which is okay. Good, let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tap it down and tap it all the way back. Very nice. Make sure you also engage through the core a little bit there. It's always important to engage through the core throughout all these exercises just to get your nice center line. I'm going to flip over onto the other side just so you can see this leg. So again, just come into an all fours position. Make sure your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees are underneath your hips. If you don't want to stay up on your hands, if you just want to think more about the legs, you are more than welcome to come down to your elbow. That's what I'm going to do because I find it easier to open up my hip as well. So whenever you're ready, extend that right leg nice and long. Again, you're just going to kick it all the way up, out to the side, kick it up, and back to the center. Tap the floor and tap it back down. Good. For 3 and 4. This also really helps kind of wake up those turnout muscles when you come to the side and then when you bring it back. Again, this exercise is all about focusing on the hip flexor. You want to warm it up, get it nice and mobile. Good, let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Tap it out to the side and back. Nice job, you guys. Go ahead and give your arms and shoulders a little roll, a little break. We're going to come back over onto this side. We're going to come into our Dolphin Pose. So bring your elbows down onto the mat. We're going to start warming up through the core a little bit. I personally always like to do a few core exercises before my classes just because it helps me feel really centered, and it helps a lot with my balances throughout the class, whether it be for pirouettes or just balancing at the bar. I find that tightening my core and centering myself really does help. So I always like to do a few core exercises. So again, just come down into your dolphin. You're going to tuck your toes, lift those hips way up high. We're going to come into our dolphin, inhale. And on your exhale, go ahead and come into the plank. Push it back and plank. For 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it. Good. Go ahead and lower down to your knees. Push your hips back, coming into what we call in yoga a puppy pose, but just reach your arms back and kind of stay seated up and just bring your sternum down to the mat. So you don't want to come all the way into a child's pose. You want to keep your arms reaching forward, but push your chest down so it's really opening up your chest and heart area. Also your shoulders. And you're squeezing your shoulder blades together to engage through your back muscles. Good, and then from here, just inhale. We're going to push forward into what in yoga called upward facing dog, but you don't have to lift your thighs up. I want you to focus more on your back and just really pushing your hand into the mat, making sure your shoulders are down and you're stretching out that back. Good, and then go ahead, push back into that puppy pose. And then into upward dog. So we're getting more into the spine here. It's always good to stretch out the spine before the class, since in some of the first part of classes you do quite a few back bends. So it's really important. If you feel like you need to stay maybe in this upward dog for a little bit, you're more than welcome to. Maybe try walking your hands back so you can lift that chest up even more and really try to stretch out those back muscles. Yeah. Good. Taking a nice big deep breath here. And then exhale, reach those hands forward. Chest comes down, open up those shoulders. Good. And once again, bring that stomach down, open up that chest. Big inhale here and an exhale. Good. And then from here, we're just going to do one little basket. So all I want you to do is just try to bring your toes to touch your head. Again, I like to do this because it just really stretches out my back, helps me with my combres, or in ballet, it's basically just a back bend, and it helps me with my arabesque, and it just makes me feel nice and loose. So you don't have to hold it for too long. If you just want to tap and then come back into that puppy pose, feel free to do that. Good. Then from here, come back onto all fours. We're going to stretch out the shoulders a little bit more. On your inhale, go ahead and reach that right arm all the way up to the sky. And on your exhale, we're going to thread the needle through that left arm, bringing your shoulder all the way down to the mat, and then reach that left hand forward and then try to square off your shoulders. Yeah, so you're getting a deeper stretch in the shoulders and arms here. Again, another nice opening for the upper body. Helps with that mobility. Gets some more flexibility into that upper body area. Good. Go ahead and switch. Just place that left hand down and then reach the left arm up as you inhale. And as you exhale, thread it through, bringing the shoulder all the way down to the mat as you reach that right arm down, and then try to square off your shoulders so your body is almost flat on the mat. And again, just breathe here. Good. Place that right hand back. Bring that left arm back down onto the mat. From here, go ahead and step your feet out. We're going to come into a high plank. We're just going to hold for a couple seconds. Again, just trying to engage through the core. Nothing crazy here. Just getting a little bit more activation through the midline. This is going to help center your whole body. And again, if you're doing this before a ballet class, this is really nice to do, and it helps with your balances later on. Good, just breathe here. Five more seconds. And bring your knees down. Awesome job, you guys. Come sitting up all the way on your knees. We're gonna again get more into the back. I really like to stretch out my back before my classes. Again, if you're doing this before ballet classes, this is really nice to do just to help with your flexibility in your back, gets those arabesques higher, gets those balances nicer, gets your body a bit more open. So from here, we're gonna do, we're referencing a lot of yoga poses, but I do quite a lot of yoga poses to warm up for ballet. We're gonna do kind of like a camel pose, but a lot more intense. So in a normal camel pose, you'd normally just bring your hands down to your heels and push your hips forward. And you can do this. This is just as helpful. This does the exact same thing. But if you want to try to go a little bit deeper, we're actually going to try to do a back bend in this position. So what I want you to do is sit up on your knees. Make sure your knees are about hip width distance apart. You're going to reach your arms all the way up above your head. From here, your hips are going to go forward as you reach all the way back. You're going to tap the mat and then push yourself back up. That's one. So I like to do this again, kind of just to get some warmth and some heat in my body, but also it stretches out my back. So we're just gonna reach back, tap all the way down, and then push yourself back up for 2. Reach it back, and 3. Reach it back, and 4. Last one, reach it back, and 5. Nice job. Go ahead and sit back on your glutes. Counter stretch here. Just reach forward, come into your child's pose. Always good to do some counter stretches after the more intense. So again, if that was too challenging for you, you're more than welcome to just do a normal camel pose. But if you are in the more advanced and you want to get a really deep back stretch, you can take that level. I find that it really helps with my back flexibility. Also with my core strength, because it does take some core strength to pull your body back up from bending backwards like that. So taking a nice big inhale and an exhale. Beautiful. Last thing, again, another back stretch. Do quite a lot of these, but stretching out my back is my favorite, especially before class. We're going to come into our bridge or our back bend. So place your feet down. You can come into this however you want. If you want to come from laying all the way down on the mat and pushing up, you can do that. If you want to come from standing, you can do that. I'm going to do it from coming in like this middle section, basically just planting my feet down, reaching my arm back until I can come all the way back into a back bend. Walk your hands as close to your feet as possible. We're just going to stretch out the back here. Taking a nice big deep inhale and an exhale. Good. Then from here, we're just going to do alternating leg extensions. So just reach that right leg up and bring it down. Switch out for the left and bring it down. Right and down. Left, down. Good. For 3, 2, and 1. Good. Go ahead and hold this. Try to see if you can walk your hands even closer towards your feet. And then whenever you're ready, you can slowly start to walk your hands out. Bring your body down, coming to laying on your back. And then from here, you can just roll up, come into a seated position in the center of your mat. Taking a nice big deep breath, stretch out your arms, reach all the way up. You can give yourself a nice little shoulder stretch. If you need to counter stretch that last back bend, you can go ahead and just curve your spine and do some small cat-cows. That's usually where I like to end off my warm-up. Again, this is just to get your body nice and activated, get those muscles activated, get some mobility in your hips, your shoulders, and your arms. Nothing super crazy. This is just what I like to do before my classes. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you next time. Thank you guys so much for watching today's class. If you want to check out more of our content or see my whole ballet body workout series, you can go ahead and download our app, Yoga Plus, which is located in the description below.
Welcome to Yoga Plus. Courses available from pupil to yogi. Sort by yoga, fitness, and instructors. Create your own routines. Access the Pose library. Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth, available on Google Play and the App Store.
Join us for 14 and 30-day programs, hour-long classes, and much more on our yoga app, Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth. It's free to download and features a variety of wellness content, including yoga, fitness, Pilates, guided meditations, and interviews with dozens of wellness experts.